In the heart of Ojuodo, a secluded Nigerian village, the people hold an annual masquerade festival that outsiders are never allowed to witness. Adetola, a young journalist from Lagos, arrives in the village, determined to uncover the truth behind the mystical Midnight Masquerade, a ritual that is said to bring either prosperity or death. Despite numerous warnings from the villagers, including the village elder Boba Ogunjimi, Adetola is drawn deeper into the mystery when he hears rumors of people who have attended the masquerade and were never seen again. He is told that once the drums call at midnight, the dead walk among the living. Adetola's first night in the village is restless. He hears distant drumming, though when he asks about it the next morning, the villagers pretend to know nothing. He ventures deeper into the village, speaking to an elderly herbalist, Ayamareo, who warns him that curiosity has claimed many before him. Some doors, once opened, can never be closed, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. You will see things you cannot unsee. You will hear the voices of those long gone. And they will hear you. Adetola, ever the skeptic, dismisses her warnings as local superstition. But as the days pass, he notices strange things. The villagers avoid certain paths at night, whispers echo from empty alleyways, and a strange marking appears on his room's wooden door. The night of the festival arrives. Adetola ignores the warnings and sneaks into the gathering just before midnight, hiding among the shadows of the village square. As the festival begins, the atmosphere shifts. Towering figures in elaborate masks emerge, their bodies swaying in an unnatural rhythm. Their elongated limbs move as though controlled by unseen forces. The villagers join in, their eyes glazed over, their feet moving in perfect synchronicity with the deafening drums. Then, a hush falls over the crowd. The spirit masquerade steps forward. Unlike the others, its mask is jet black with glowing red etchings, and its presence sends a chill through the air. Adetola watches in horror as a lone villager is brought before the spirit masquerade. The masked figure extends a hand, touching the villager's forehead. Instantly, the man collapses, his body convulsing violently before he falls still. Adetola stumbles backward, his breath coming in ragged gasps. But the moment he moves, the masked figures turn to him in unison, their lips parting in a soundless whisper. He runs. Through the darkened parts of the village, through the thick foliage, but the drums never fade. He bursts into Ayamareo's hut, his heart hammering against his ribs. She is waiting for him. They have seen you, she says. Now, you must pay the price. Adetola is taken by the masked figures and brought to an ancient shrine deep in the forest. There, he is forced to endure visions of the past, visions of previous outsiders who had stumbled upon the masquerade and were sacrificed to the spirits. He learns that the masquerade is not a mere festival but a binding ritual. The village exists in prosperity only because, once a year, a soul is offered to the ancestors. He sees Femi, a villager he had befriended, among the crowd. Desperation claws at him as the spirit masquerade approaches, its shadow looming over him. There is only one way out, Ayamareo murmurs. A soul for a soul. Choose. Faced with an impossible decision, Adetola points at Femi. The moment he does, the masked figures descend upon the unsuspecting villager, dragging him into the darkness. His screams echo until they are swallowed by the drumming. The next morning, Adetola awakens in the village square. Everything is as it was before. The festival grounds are clean, untouched. He stumbles to his feet, disoriented, searching for Femi, but the villagers stare at him blankly when he speaks the name. There was never a Femi in this village, Baba Ogunjimi says, his smile empty. Fear coils around Adetola's chest. The air is too still. The silence is too heavy. He leaves the village, determined to put the horrors behind him. Back in Lagos, he tries to write his article, but every time he types the words, Midnight Masquerade, his computer crashes. The shadows in his apartment grow darker. He begins to hear the drums at midnight. One night, he looks into the mirror, and his reflection does not move. It smiles. The screen fades to black as the sound of distant drumming fills the silence. The masquerade never ends, it only waits for its next guest. Follow for more interesting movie.